Hello everyone, welcome back to session 2 of this course, and the title of the session 2 is Data Science Process. The last session, you and I are able to answer the question, what is data science? But today, this session is going to focus on a more practical question, which is, how does a data science project actually happen? So this session is going to focus on the structured workflow of transforming raw data into an actionable insight. Imagine Netflix recommending movie for you, or bank detecting fraudulent transaction within a seconds. None of this happens by chance. It follows a structured process. By the end of this course, we'll be able to describe the steps in the data science process, understand the importance of data collection and pre-processing, explain the concepts of training and testing in data science. Without wasting much of our time, let's jump right in. Now, the data science process follows a structured 9 steps, which are problem definition, data collection, cleaning and pre-processing, exploratory data analysis, feature engineering, modeling, evaluation, deployment, and lastly, monitoring and maintenance. Now, let me explain each of the steps one by one. Problem definition. Before any data scientist can write a single line of code or open a data set, such data scientists need to understand what the problem the business is trying to solve. Now, understanding the problem will actually give the team a direction of where to go. Now, by understanding the business question, you'll be able to have a precise goal with specific objective. Number 2, data collection. Now, after understanding the business needs, you need to collect data. You can collect data from reliable sources, from SQL, API, or web scraping. Collecting the data is not that important, but the data that you are collecting, are they relevant data? Are they relevant to the problem that you are trying to address? Now, the third step, cleaning and pre-processing. Most of the real world data is messy, noisy, so it needs to be cleaned and pre-processed. Most importantly, we need to transform it into a usable format that the model will understand. So when we are talking about cleaning, with cleaning, you correct noise, missing value, duplicate entries, and inconsistency. The first step, exploratory data analysis. With exploratory data analysis, you visualize and summarize data in order to understand the shape of the data, spot anomalies, and identify the pattern within that particular data. The other one, which is feature engineering. With feature engineering is the most creative process, or the most creative step in the data science process, because with feature engineering, you are shaping and you are combining variables to help model see what raw data hide. The sixth step, which is modeling. Under modeling, you are building algorithms to learn from the data. You are using several algorithms such as supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Now, evaluation, which is the 7th step. With evaluation, you need to measure the performance of your model. How is it perform? Does it meet the specific objective that you have set? So you do this by measuring the accuracy, precision, recall, and F1. The 8th steps, which is deployment. You need to integrate the model that you develop into production for real-time or batch prediction. While the last one, which is monitoring and maintenance. Now, you have to track the performance of the model continuously and update as data drifts over time. Now, out of these 9 steps, there are 2 major steps that are very, very important when it comes to this data science project. The first one is data collection, because most of the projects fail quietly at this stage. Now, when we are talking about data collection, it involves three major steps. The first one is identifying sources. Where are you getting your data from? Are you getting it from a reliable source? That's very, very important. Step 2, data acquisition. How do you acquire your data? You extract and store data. You can use SQL or you can use Python script to extract the relevant data. Then the other one, which is the data relevance. You need to make sure that data you are acquiring is relevant to the problem that you want to solve. Now, the next one, which is data preprocessing. Now, with data preprocessing, you need to clean data. It has 3 steps as well. The first one is data cleaning. If you are talking about data cleaning, how do you handle missing values if you discover it in your data set? Then how do you remove duplicates, and how do you correct errors? The next one is data transformation. Now, after you have cleaned your data, you need to transform it in a usable format that the model can actually work with it. The last one, which is data integration. We are talking about reward, and with reward, you have to combine multiple sources into one unified view by joining tables or matching data frame. Now, the next important steps when it comes to data science process is, how does the model learn? So we've talked about training and testing. Now this training and testing, they are 2 separate processes as far as model learning is concerned. Now, what do we mean by training? Training is you are feeding preprocessed data into our algorithm so it learns pattern and relationship. Now, and with this, you'll be adjusting the parameter of the model to minimize error. Now, most times, majority of the data sets are being trained, probably 70%. Now, testing, you have to evaluate the performance of your model by testing it on unseen data to confirm that the model actually works and it meets the objective that you've set for it. Now, okay, in a nutshell, now, training is like you are studying with practice question, while testing is like you are sitting for the real exam with questions you've never seen. So if you ever practice or get graded on the same question, you never really know if you learn the material or just memorize the answer key. That's just the basic difference between training and testing. Now, in conclusion, I'll be able to walk you through the 9 steps in data science process, from problem definition to modeling, evaluation, deployment, and ongoing monitoring. We'll be able to talk about collection and preprocessing by sourcing for relevant data, cleaning it, and transforming it. The last one is training and testing, how model learn. Now, before the conclusion of this session, I would like to do a self-assessment for you to know if you truly understood this particular course. The first question is, what is the main goal of data processing? What does training refer to in machine learning? And what type of data is typically used for testing a model? I will see you in the next session. Thank you.